Hi guys, and happy Sunday. Today is September 5th, and I am getting to you late this weekend because I spent all day yesterday rearranging my craft room. For those of you who've watched me for a while, you know that about a year and a half, 2 years now, it's been 2 years ago, I started working from home, which means that my craft room became my office. So I spent yesterday just getting everything rearranged so that it's more a craft room and less of an office. But in doing so, I came across a bunch of cards that I'd made in the past that I thought I would revisit today. And one of them is this. So if you can look here, it opens up like that. It's a fun little fold, not too hard to make. The hardest part is if you're doing directional, you want to make sure that you have it the correct way, and you want to make sure that both sides of the designer paper kind of coordinate with one another. So let me go ahead and show you how I made it. So what you're going to need is you're going to need 2 pieces of designer paper. If it's non-directional, it's so much easier, just letting you know. And you want to cut it, let me make sure this is at least 8 1/4. It's not. All right. So you're cutting it 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. So let me go ahead and come out here. 8 1/4. I know it's a little different. It's not 8 1/2, but I'll show you why in a second. So 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. So there's your one piece. Now, if it's directional, you'll see as I go along, you'll want to do it a little bit differently. All right, so let's go 5 1/2. And this I chose purposely because it's not directional. So let's go 5 1/2 that way and 8 1/4 this way. Okay, set those aside. And now I'm going to use my trimmer for just one more thing. You're going to go ahead and score on the long side. So on this case, since it's 8 1/4, you want to go halfway. Halfway then is going to be 4 1/8. Okay, so here you see here's 8 1/4 is about 21 centimeters. So I'm going 4 1/8. You're right about that 10 1/2 mark on the centimeters. And you're going to score. Okay, you're going to do that on both of them. Oh, did you see what I just did? Oh, not good. I cut, I didn't score. So let me go ahead. I do that all the time. Let me go ahead. My paper's right here. Let me grab out another one of those pieces of cardstock. This is from the Hostess set. So let me go ahead. I knew I was going to do that, guys. I thought I have everything pulled out. Everything's going to go perfect. And that's what happens. So anyway, so again, 5 1/2 by 8 1/4. Cutting. Then move that blade way down, and you're going to score at 4 1/8. Oh my goodness. Knew I was going to do that. All right, so go ahead and get your bone folder. And what we're going to do is once we decide which way we're going to lay this, we're going to take off just a smidgen. And I'll show you why in a second. So we're going to layer this. I think I want it the other way. So we're going to layer this. Okay, so see how when that folds, means you're going to have to cut this one. Let me make sure it's all even. Oh, I won't. I actually must have done one a little bit off. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to open it up and we're going to put tape on here. right. So that way, see, it's still folding good. And then all you're going to do on this is you're going to come in and you're going to fold down to that score mark. Sorry if I'm a little off camera. I think I went a little too far. Yep. Okay. And again, on this side, you're not going to see it as easily. So you're just going to go right to that score line. Now before you tape it down, you're going to make sure that it still looks okay when you fold it. You're going to figure out which way lays flatter. Okay. So now, I'm not going all the way down to the score mark, as you notice. Okay. Perfect. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to figure out how much of that you want to cover up. Now, I think that's a very bold pattern. I probably should have put the polka dots on top. So I'm going to make this one pretty full for the inside. So if you measure it, remember this is your 4 1/8 side. And then this is 5 1/2. So I'm going to take this and I think I'm going to go 5 1/4 by just a little less than 4. So I'm going to see how that looks. There, I do like that. It covers up a lot of that busyness. Okay, and you could always use like your mint macaron would look really nice in here. Your pear pistache, your old olive, any of those you could stamp on and you'd still be able to see. So I'm going to be using the stamp set. This is the host set from the mini catalog, the July to December Amaryllis Abloom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead I want to go very lightly because, as you can see, I got edges down there. And then what I do, you notice this is a long stamp. I've only mounted half of it on a smaller block because I'm going to go off the edge no matter what, but I don't want to get any of that purple on the flower part. So it just kind of helps that way. Not going to hurt your stamp any at all. Very, very pretty. All right, so let's go ahead. I've learned that with the Stamp and Seal, if you go pretty much straight up and down, you don't have to do the check mark. You don't have to worry about it having to use your silicone mat to get it started. Okay, there we are. If you want to, you could even have layered this too. So now you're saying, but wait, there's a little bit showing there. I should have gone a little bit more over to the side. I didn't though. So guess what? We're just going to put a bow on there anyway. And let's get some of this. You can't see it because it's right above me here, but my ribbon's right at my reach. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do a quick bow. Do the 2 rabbit ear parts. Looks like I'm pretty even there. My daughter had the hardest time learning how to tie her shoes when she was younger. So that's how we finally got her to learn how to tie her shoes, was doing the bunny rabbit method. Okay, let me just make that a little bit smaller. You always want to go smaller than it is because then when you pull it, of course, it's going to make it tighter. All right. that just a little bit smaller. There we go. I know, this is why I usually don't do bows, because they kind of bother me. Okay, and what I do on the bows is, oh, I like that side better. I just touch my tape to there a little bit. I'm going to put it right where those two intersect, so I'm covering up those words. The tails are too long. Oh, I don't know where my snips are. So I'm going to use our old standbys that we used to be able to buy. Love them. They're my favorite ribbon scissors. So then, as you can see, covering it up, no problem. Then I'm also going to take, of course, my favorite, my Genial Gems. It always seems like I go back to the colors. I'm going to put this one right in the middle. I'm going to do two of the lighter colors for on top and on bottom. And so there you are. Give it one more good crease here because we have a lot of folds there. So there you are. Sorry. Quick and easy card, giving you some of that fabulous designer paper showing through. You could also do this with just your regular cardstock and but you wouldn't get the same, you know. This would be like, if this was fresh freesia, it'd be fresh freesia, fresh freesia. So that's where the designer paper really comes in handy. All right, guys. Hope you had a great weekend. For those of you who are off tomorrow, like I am, enjoy your day off. For those of you that have to work, thank you. We appreciate the workforce to keep, us all in our food on our days off and, letting us shop and all that. So I hope you had a great weekend, and I'll try to get on tomorrow maybe and do one more video. We'll see. All right, thanks guys, and have a great Sunday.